So, you're planning a road trip through the beautiful landscapes of Romania? That's awesome! In this explainer, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the local traffic laws to make sure your journey is safe, smooth, and, yep, ticket-free. Okay, let's just jump right in. You might think, I'll just watch my speed and I'll be fine, right? Well, not exactly. Navigating Romania's roads safely means knowing a bunch of local rules and quirks that might not be obvious. And trust me, that local knowledge is what really makes the difference. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll cover your pre-drive checklist, everything you need before you even start the car. Then, we'll dive into the key rules for when you're on the road. After that, we'll look at the differences between city and country driving, what happens if you slip up, and finally, exactly what to do if you see those flashing lights in your mirror. First things first, let's talk preparation. A great drive through Romania really starts way before you turn that key in the ignition.
Okay, documents. This is a big one that trips people up all the time. You absolutely must have the physical original copies of these 4 things with you. I'm serious. A photocopy or a picture on your phone just isn't going to cut it if you get pulled over.
On top of your personal docs, you're going to need proof of insurance. For most international drivers, this is what's known as a green card. Just think of it like a passport for your car's insurance coverage. It's not optional, it's mandatory. And why is it so important? Well, because forgetting that one little piece of paper could cost you up to 1,740 lei. To put that into perspective, that's roughly $380. Yeah, a very, very expensive mistake to make. Last up on the pre-drive check is the car itself. Seatbelts for everyone, obviously, but you're also legally required to have a first aid kit in the vehicle. And listen, if you're driving any time between November and March, those winter tires are not a suggestion, they're the law. All right, paperwork is sorted, the car is equipped. Time for the main event. Let's get on the road and talk about Romania's specific traffic rules. Here's a really simple rule that a surprising number of people miss. Your dipped headlights have to be on all the time, 24/7. It doesn't matter if it's broad daylight or if you're in the city or the countryside. It's all about making sure everyone is as visible as possible. This one shouldn't be a shocker, but it's always worth repeating. Using a handheld phone while you're driving is a huge no-no. The law is crystal clear here. It's about preventing distracted driving. So, hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Okay, let's talk about speed. The limits are pretty standard stuff. 50 in the cities, 90 on rural roads, and up to 130 on highways. But here's the part you really need to pay attention to. The penalties aren't just about how fast you're going. It's about where you're going fast. Going 20 over on the highway is going to cost you a lot more in fines and points than making that same mistake in an urban area. You know, knowing the rules is one thing, but actually applying them to Romania's incredibly diverse road conditions, that's a whole other ballgame. You've got to be an adaptive driver, especially when you're switching between the city and the countryside. Driving in Romania is really a tale of two worlds. In the cities, you're mostly just fighting traffic on roads that are paved and well lit. But the moment you get out into the countryside, the challenges change completely. Now you're looking out for livestock on the road, navigating poorly lit areas, and dealing with the fact that, yeah, about a third of these roads might not even be paved, and they're probably full of potholes. You have to change how you drive. So what happens if you do make a mistake? Let's get into the consequences. Romania has a pretty structured system of fines and penalties, and it's all designed to keep people accountable. So Romania uses a penalty point system. The best way to think about it is like a running tab. Every little infraction, even something like ignoring a sign, doesn't just cost you money, it adds points to your license. And believe me, those points add up and can lead to some serious trouble. And the number you really want to remember here is 15. If you rack up 15 points in a single year, your license gets flagged, and you're looking at a mandatory reevaluation. That's basically the system's big red line, and if you cross it, you might not be able to legally drive there anymore. But let's be clear, when it comes to driving under the influence, the penalties are in a totally different league. We're not just talking about fines anymore. If your blood alcohol level is over 0.8 grams per liter, you could be facing actual jail time. The stance here is pretty much zero tolerance. And what about really, really speeding? If you get caught going more than 50 kilometers per hour over the speed limit, you better brace yourself. The fine can shoot all the way up to 2,610 lei. That's nearly $570, and you can pretty much guarantee they'll suspend your license. Okay, so let's say despite your best efforts, it happens. You see those flashing lights in your rearview mirror. What do? Don't panic. This last section is your step-by-step guide for what to do next. If you get a ticket and you think it's unfair, there is one number you absolutely have to burn into your brain: 15. From the moment that ticket is in your hand, a 15-day clock starts ticking. If you want to file an appeal, you have to do it within that window. You miss it, and your chance is gone for good. So here's your action plan. Step 1, make sure you understand exactly what the ticket is for. Step 2, pay it. And if you're not a resident, you have to do this within 48 hours. Step 3, decide if you want to fight it. If the answer is yes, you need to get in touch with legal support right away to get that 15-day appeal process started. Okay, let's do a final, super quick mental checklist. You've got your original documents in the car? Check. You've got your first aid kit and the right tires? Check. You're keeping a close eye on your speed and you're not drinking and driving? Check. And you know about that 15-day appeal window? Check. If you can say yes to those 4 things, you are in fantastic shape. So we've covered the laws, the fines, all the technical stuff. But the real question is for you. Knowing all this isn't just about avoiding a ticket, right? It's about making sure that you and everyone else on the road is safe. That's how you can really soak in the incredible experience of driving through Romania. Have an amazing trip and drive safe.